to my review for Jack Reacher Never Go Back. So this film is a sequel to the original Jack Reacher, which came out in 2012, and it stars Tom Cruise and Cobie Smulders, and it revolves around these two characters trying to solve a conspiracy behind the CIA and the government in order to try to clear Jack Reacher's name. In the meantime, it's also sort of a road trip film in which Jack Reacher is discovering that he may or may not have a daughter, and it's about that character and their interaction. So this film has a lot going on. So I was interested in this film because the original is a film I like. I don't love it. At times I go back and forth between thinking it's okay and liking it, but the main reason that I enjoyed that movie was because of Tom Cruise. Because Tom Cruise is honestly one of today's best working actors. It really annoys me when people say, oh, Tom Cruise, that guy who, went crazy and is a Scientologist, a terrible actor. And I really hate it when people do that because they're not separating the art from the person. So that usually annoys me. And I do have to say that, yet again, like the first one, Tom Cruise is what carries this film. In fact, if he had no involvement in this film, if he didn't have anything to do with it, this film would be unwatchable. He is able to take a script with some terrible, incredibly cheesy one-liners, make them believable. The way that he says them, they come out believable and they come out natural, which is really weird. He's a great actor, and though his character is supposed to be stale, he's stale in an unstale way, which is really weird to say. But I just gotta say, Tom Cruise is really what made this film. And in fact, all of the actors really are what made this film. The acting isn't necessarily the problem here. It definitely is weak at times, but there are much weaker elements of this film, such as the chemistry. These characters had absolutely no chemistry, and I do say that is the actor's fault. They gave fine individual performances, but when put it against each other, they just did not work out well. There is a scene towards the end where the chemistry between Jack Reacher and his daughter works out well, or his supposed daughter, and that did work out pretty well in that scene, but that's just one scene in the grand scheme of the entire film where it doesn't work out. And I also have to say that this film, unlike the first one, is insanely dull. See, what the first one is, it had a serious tone, but it didn't feel dull. This one goes for a serious tone, but at the same time has no fun. The action in it is generic. You've seen it a million times before, so there's nothing really special there. And it's just a generic B movie, is what this film became. There are many instances where I just thought about something else, and then I came back to the movie realizing, oh yeah, I'm watching Jack Reacher right now. Oh, okay, yeah, I guess I should focus because this movie is completely unengaging. The story, I didn't care 1 ounce about. Trying to follow it was almost a bit difficult simply because as I was trying to follow it, I sort of got bored with it and just thought of something else, which that doesn't really happen too often for me. Usually when I see a movie, my full focus is on it no matter how bad it is. In this film, I just completely forgot about other things, and I had a hard time paying attention to the movie, which is really, really odd for me. The daughter subplot that they try to use in the film did not work in any way. It just randomly came in at points, and then suddenly Jack Reacher cares so much about this girl who's his supposed daughter may or may not be, and just boom, he suddenly cares about her to an insane degree. And understand, Jack Reacher is a guy that wants to settle down and he can't because of his past. But that doesn't mean that you get so attached to something that easily. They treated him like they'd been together for 15 years, and that was his daughter for the past 15 years, when really they're just meeting now, and he's not even sure if that's his daughter or not. So that was definitely a very weak aspect of the movie. And also the dialogue is also completely terrible. It's either just exposition of characters explaining the story and what's going on, or it's these side conversations that are so terribly written. They don't feel natural at all, and they're sort of just used to introduce new ideas that eventually get held back, such as potential love interest and all this kind of stuff. And it's incredibly weak, and overall, this film is just a dull, weak sequel that we get so often. Usually sequels come nowhere close to the original, and this is what this one was. It's just another bad sequel. I guess if you're an average film goer that doesn't pay too attention to this kind of stuff and you're just going in there just to have fun, you could enjoy the movie. But as a film critic who looks at this kind of stuff, I just have to say that I did not enjoy this movie, and that is why Jack Reacher Never Go Back gets a 4 out of 10. Alright, that concludes my review. I am Robert Burke. Oh, comment what you thought of this film below if you've seen it. I am Robert Burke, and this has been The Clever Critics. Goodbye.